Let's get you ready for week 3. What's more likely style? And let's begin with the New England Patriots. And hopefully Bill Belichick won't be wearing that sweatshirt on the sidelines, or maybe hopefully he will. Raiders take on the Patriots in New England. Julian Edelman reaches his career high of 179 receiving yards, which was set last week against the Seahawks, or Darren Waller matches his career high of 16 targets, which was set last week. What's more likely?
Ooh, I think if you're making me pick one of those right there, I'm going to go with the Darren Waller thing. I am. And again, I wouldn't be shocked if Julian Edelman got 100 yards and got around there again. But, when you start to get to 180 for a guy like Julian Edelman, I don't think that's really his type of game. All those deep passes, it was awesome. I mean, man, is he tough. And Cam Newton was on fire. But Darren Waller is like the go-to guy in the pass game for the Las Vegas Raiders. And you could see last week he's special. Now, it'll be fun to watch. This game, I think, could be a lot of fun. I do. I'm certainly leaning towards the Patriots, but I'll say I'm a little concerned with them. The Patriots' front seven, not real big, and it's kind of slow. And this Raiders O-line is one of the best in football and can dominate. So that's where I think the game gets tipped a little bit more even than maybe we would even think. But I'm going Darren Waller. What do you think?
Yeah, this one's easy. It's Darren Waller. I mean, how long's Julian Edelman been playing? And he just reached that career high of 179 last week. Chances of him duplicating it back-to-back weeks, fairly slim. Darren Waller, the guy that has become Derek Carr's security blanket for good reason, he can catch the ball. Throw it to him, let him catch it, let him move the chains. And Bill Belichick talked yesterday about what a matchup problem Darren Waller is. Now, he didn't practice yesterday, and this is one of those weird, they didn't practice because they played Monday night, but they have to issue a report. So if they had practiced on Wednesday, Darren Waller wouldn't have practiced. We'll see on Thursday whether or not he actually practices, but he's got some sort of an injury that caused him to land on the report, so that's something to keep an eye on for this week. All right, Rams and Bills, a couple of 2-0 teams. What's more likely, Josh Allen throws for 300 yards or the Rams rush for 175, Chris?
Wow. Well, I can't say that I sitting here right now, I can't imagine the Rams and McVay running for 175 or more on a Sean McDermott Buffalo Bills defense. I would be, I think, shocked by that. And I got respect for this Rams defense too, but I just feel like with Josh Allen, the way he's playing, the way Brian Daboll, the offensive coordinator's calling plays right now, which is like attack. We're not looking for 3-yard gains. We're looking for 30-yard gains every play. And then the receivers they have around him, I feel like it's more likely that Allen throws for 300 yards rather than the Rams rushing for 175.
Yeah, here's the thing. And just by way of background, Josh Allen had never thrown for 300 yards. He's done it in both of the first 2 games of the season. And the Rams' running game is averaging 172 yards per contest. The problem is Malcolm Brown's got a broken finger. Now they expect him to play with a broken finger. He had surgery on it Monday. Cam Akers has that separated rib cartilage issue. Neither Brown nor Akers practiced on Wednesday. It falls to Darrell Henderson at that point. So they may not have their full complement of running backs to get to 175, which, hey, maybe Henderson could – that's the thing. When you've got multiple guys, if it gets down to one guy, maybe one guy has a huge day.
Right.
But I'm more confident in Josh Allen getting 300 yards again. Look, he's on the front end of a special season, and they're going to dial it up, and they're going to throw the ball. And I know he's got to deal with Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey, but that's just 2 out of 11. There's 9 other guys that are going to have to figure out how to slow down that Bills offense, and I'm not sure they can slow it down to the point where they can keep Josh Allen under 300, Chris.
Yeah, no, I mean, from what we've seen to this point so far, it's been one of the more fun teams to watch in all of football. And just – Josh Allen, they've entrusted him with the keys to the franchise. Throwing the ball backed up on the 1-yard line last week, throwing the ball, when you're supposed to be running the clock out, and you think, oh, it's McDermott, they'll run the clock out, punt, and try to win the game with the defense. Nope, attack mode. I mean, Diggs has been phenomenal. That's looking like the move of the offseason right now for any team. I mean, that's been special. So, yeah, I'm having fun watching it. And this is going to be a great game. This is one of the under-the-radar, really great matchups of the weekend.
Yeah, given what Stephon Diggs has brought to the Buffalo offense and what he's taken away from the Minnesota offense, what a swing.
Right.
Bills 2-0, Vikings 0-2. The Texans are 0-2. They get to go to Pittsburgh, where the Steelers are 2-0. Deshaun Watson with 2 or more touchdown passes or T.J. Watt with 2 or more sacks? What's more likely?
I'm going T.J. Watt. I mean, I could see both happening, certainly. I mean, but if you're going to make me pick one or the other, I'm going with T.J. Watt. First off, the Texans' offense is spotty right now. This is a very good Steelers defense, as we know. And we've seen protection issues a little bit with Houston once again. I did not think they would be, coming about here. I thought they had some of these things figured out, but it's 2 weeks in a row. He's got people around him. That's still a work in progress, obviously, up front, and then this is a great pass rush. I mean, Dupree has been awesome. Watt has been awesome. I mean, they really are. I don't know. Is there a better pass rushing duo than those two out there right now? If there is, I don't know who it is, but I'm going Watt, 2+ sacks.
Well, and Dupree took over the first game of the season. Watt's taken over the second game of the season. And here's the thing. If the Steelers build a lead, it's conducive to more pass rush. I want to see the Steelers do a better job of holding the lead, though. I was dismayed by the way the Steelers let the Broncos back into the game last week, and that came down to the wire a hell of a lot more seriously for the Steelers than it should have. They could have lost that game, and they could have lost to the Giants. They could be 0-2. Now, hey, their defense ultimately made the plays when they had to, and that's the key. If you can trust your defense to step up with the Bud Dupree hit on Daniel Jones when the Giants are about to take the lead late in the third quarter after a long drive that wore out the defense, and when Terrell Edmonds can be trusted to bust through and sack Jeff Driscoll to disrupt a play that could have ended in a touchdown that would have given the Broncos the win, then you know that those close games are going to go your way. So I got much more faith in the Steelers defense and in T.J. Watt. He's the AFC Defensive Player of the Week. He's got 2.5 sacks, all from last week, tied for the NFL lead this season, and Watson has already been sacked 8 times this year. Cowboys and Seahawks get together. What's more likely, Russell Wilson's MVP odds improve after this game, or Dak Prescott's MVP odds improve? As of right now, Wilson is the favorite. He has jumped to the top of the stack at 3-1. Patrick Mahomes 5-1, along with Lamar Jackson. There's Aaron Rodgers. Kyler Murray creeping up. I don't know that's going to work for him this year. That was the one bet because the odds were like 20, 25-1. That was the one I really liked. But I'll tell you what, he's going to have to outduel Russell Wilson twice to knock him out of that perch. And even then, you got to deal with Mahomes and Jackson and Rodgers. But Prescott's there at 20-1. What's more likely? Wilson's go lower or higher? What is it? They go lower, right? The odds go lower. Your odds improve based upon this week. Who's going to be in better position, according to the odds makers, to win MVP after this?
Good job. Better. Good word. I like that. Man. This is a tough one. I really think we could see a track meet in this football game. I would not be shocked. I mean, you got weapons galore. You got 2 quarterbacks who can throw the ball down the field and are aggressive. And then you got 2 defenses that, the Cowboys don't have any playmakers, and you've seen people kind of move the ball on them through the first 2 weeks. And the Seahawks have some playmakers, but they play like, their hair's on fire. They're coming after you. They're going to give you chances. That's why we're liking Seattle right now. It's like they're going to make a play or you're going to go down and score, and they're going to get the ball back, and Russell can, cook it up. I guess I am going to go here. I'm going to go with Dak Prescott. I am. I could see him as improving. And this is why. Not anything to do with the player, more to do with the systems they're playing against. Dallas has been very conservative on the defensive side of the ball. A lot of just basic zone coverages. We're not going to let up a big play. They actually played pretty good defense last week. I mean, the Falcons had 5 short fields. 5 short fields with all that talent they got on their team, and they came away with 2 touchdowns and 3 field goals. That was a win for the Cowboys. And it's because Mike Nolan's got them doing basic stuff. I think Seattle will lend itself to all right, we can't sit back here anymore. We're sending Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner, and we're going to give you a chance to make a play. And I just think that's going to lead to maybe some big-time Prescott numbers. Not necessarily saying it's going to win, but I think it's going to have big-time numbers.
The over-under for that game is 56. And I'm still a little gun-shy because I was convinced that Texans-Chiefs would sail over 54, and it landed right on 54 2 weeks ago. But 56 seems a little low for this game.
I think so.
Because both offenses are extremely potent and both defenses have real question marks. How about this? And let's put that graphic back up on the screen, please. Given the current odds, who's your best bet? Who's the guy that you would put, Chris, some of your discretionary income, the income you use for certain products that you may ingest on a Thursday night? Who's the guy that you would put your money on?
I still have a hard time. I mean, to me, it's still the guys at the top two right there. I mean, I can't believe I'm saying that because Lamar's sitting there, and my man Aaron Rodgers. But Wilson, the way he looks, Mahomes. The problem with Mahomes is even when it's a crappy game, it's 315 yards and two of the most unbelievable plays you've ever seen in your life. That's what's amazing. I mean, that's where you just go, holy crap. Yeah, the Chargers bottled up Mahomes all the way to the point where he made plays galore to carry them to win the game, right? I mean, that's where I'm amazed by both of those guys. So I'm going with those two, and I'm still going to go with Mahomes. I think he's still the guy that I would pin my name to.
I want something that's going to pay off. Now, before I get to the real payoff, I think Aaron Rodgers, 8-1, is going to shrink after Sunday night against the Saints because we're going to get to see him on national TV. But the last two, how could you overlook the possibility of 30-1 odds for your boy Blue, Josh Allen?
You just asked me which one I felt best about. If I wanted the best bargain deal, you're right. Maybe I would try to do that.
That's the point. The best bet with factoring the money in. Do you not listen?
No, you just said which one do you like the most. That's it. I told you the one I like the most.
We can play it back. Obviously, you're going to like the ones that are the lowest odds, but from the standpoint of the potential return on your investment, 30-1 for Cam Newton and Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's
between
insane.
The two. At 30-1 right now, which one would you put your money on?
Oh, I think I'd put Josh Allen right now with the way that offense looks and those weapons he has. And I think he's just determined, and that's not easy to say because Cam Newton's the same way. But I just think the weapons around Allen are a little bit better.
All right, Sunday Night Football, Packers and the Saints, as mentioned. What's more likely, Packers running back Aaron Jones is the game's leading rusher, or Saints running back Alvin Kamara emerges as the top receiver?
Ooh, I think I'm going to still go with Aaron Jones as the game's top rusher. Alvin Kamara, again, we know there's going to be no Michael Thomas. You're right. There's a chance he can have a lot of yards and receptions here. But I think also with the way Green Bay is kind of attacking down the field, and I know Devontae Adams, we're going to see where he is at right now. He's questionable for the game. But still, like Valdez-Scantling has been around 90-something yards, 100 yards both games. And the way they're throwing the ball off of play action, being aggressive, I would just think that somebody on the Packers, too, is going to have 100 yards or be in that 90 range. And I'm not so sure I feel like Kamara is definitely going to get there. So I'm going to go with Aaron Jones, game's top rusher.
Tough to be a top 10 receiver if you're not available for the games, Chris. I mean, I say that facetiously in part because of your omission of Devontae Adams from the top 10 receivers list. But last year he had that injury he suffered week 4 against the Eagles, and it knocked him out for a while. And, you've got to be on the field. You've got to be racking up the numbers. If you're not racking up the numbers and creating the highlights, someone else is, and you get quickly forgotten. So they need him on Sunday night for the offense to be everything it is. But I agree with you. I think that Aaron Jones will be the game's top rusher because they will have that focus. He had 168 rushing yards last week and 68 receiving yards to go with it. He had an incredible performance. He's got the hot hand right now. He's chasing that contract. Let him chase it. Yeah. Let him run the ball and let him be that compliment to Aaron Rodgers. All right, Monday Night Football. Huge early season game. 2-0 Chiefs against the 2-0 Ravens. The Ravens trying to avenge one of their losses from last year and get to 15 straight regular season victories. Incredible performance by the Ravens in the regular season. What's more likely? This will be the highest scoring game of the week, or it's lower scoring than we expected?
Ooh, I really could
53.5 is the over-under.
53.5. I mean, I could see this going either way. I really can. I could, again, I could see Baltimore going down the first drive of the game, scoring a touchdown, and now Mahomes and Kansas City feel like, all right, well, I guess we can't ease into this game. We got to attack and come right back, and all of a sudden we're in a shootout. I can just as easily, though, just see like Steve Spagnuolo and Wink Martindale having really good creative schemes and like a game plan to where both teams are a little bit early on like, whoa, wait, nobody's done this to us before. Hold on, how are we going to attack? How are we going to work from here? I think when it's all said and done, though, I'm going to go I'm going to go lower scoring than we expected, because when we talk about the highest scoring game of the week, I still think Seattle and Dallas would lead that charge in my mind. And I don't know. I just feel like we're expecting so many points with these quarterbacks and everything like this, and there's a little familiarity with these two teams because they played each other a few times the last few years. I have a feeling that the defenses are going to step up and bring something new to the table.
51 points scored between the two teams in 2018 when the Ravens and Chiefs played. It was 61 last year, that overtime contest, the Chiefs winning 33-28. How is that? No, overtime was the year before. Last year was 33-28 in regulation. You're not going to have a 5-point margin.
Right. That's the crazy thing with these two teams, though, right? Like you sit there and you go, the offenses are kind of stalling out, and then it gets to the important part of the game, and it's like 7 minutes left, and they can both score 3 touchdowns in the last 7 minutes, where you go, this game was 17-all, and now it's going to end at 38-35 or something crazy like that. That's where they're insane, both of these quarterbacks and offenses.
But the Chiefs' offense continues to have that element of sluggishness that will emerge for extended stretches of a game. Remember the Raiders game last year early in the season? They scored 28. They scored all 28 in one quarter. They scored 0 in the other 3.
Right.
And they were last week against the Chargers. You talked about the pass rush. I mean, yeah, Patrick Mahomes was constantly harassed, and I think the Ravens are capable of doing that too.
Yeah.
So, I think the challenge is going to be for the Chiefs to avoid that funk, because the Ravens don't. The Ravens aren't going to have a lapse. They're going to score, and they're going to score, and they're going to score, and if you're not matching them, it's going to be a margin come the fourth quarter that even Patrick Mahomes can't erase.
It could be. It definitely could be. And this will be our first real test to look at that Ravens pass rush, too. I'm excited to see what they got there, because that was one of the things that they weren't great at last year, just a normal 4-man pass rush. They have had to blitz and do creative things, and then, fortunately, they have great corners in the back end that can do that. Are the Ravens – I'm interested to see the approach. Are you going to blitz and try to pressure Mahomes and then roll the dice on one-on-ones on the outside with those receivers against your great corners? I don't know. Or do you just go, okay, we're going to kind of do what the Chargers did and try to play soft and do that way and like bend, don't break, and not let up the big play? That's not really in the Ravens' DNA. That's not how they play defense. So I'm very intrigued to see where it goes. What was your final answer? Do you think this is the highest scoring game of the week or lower scoring than expected?
I don't think it's the highest scoring game of the week. I think Seattle and Dallas will be, and the Detroit-Arizona game has an over-under of like 55, which kind of surprised me. Remember last year they got together week 1 and there was that 17-point margin. Oh, what a shock. The Lions blowing a big lead. The Lions are becoming the poor man's Falcons, because at least the Falcons win some games and have some accomplishments. The Lions don't. But both are becoming well known for blowing leads, and I don't think they're going to get a chance to blow the lead this time against the new and improved Arizona Cardinals with Kyler Murray and company. So I don't think it'll be the highest scoring game of the week. But there's Sunday night game, Monday night game, couple of good primetime games, and then the late afternoon game, Seahawks Cowboys. Some good games in week 3.
Yeah, there is.
Some very good games in week 3.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.